Welcome to class, everybody. So, going to be doing our 60-minute X-Press Hot Yoga 26 practice. 26 postures, 2 breathing exercises. Interlock the fingers all the way to the webbing. Super glue the knuckles underneath the chin. We start with our pranayama breathing. It's going to set you up for class. So let's begin. We breathe in through the nose and take the elbows out to the side. Take your elbows up to the ceiling. Keep inhaling through the nose. And now exhale through the mouth. Drop the head back. Trace a line along the ceiling. Keep exhaling, and bring your elbows together to touch. We inhale, bringing the head down. Pull the belly in. Breathing in through the nose. So see if you can take in a little bit more air. Now we exhale through the mouth, dropping the head back, no backward bending, eyes open, mouth wide open as we bring the elbows to touch in front. Inhale, get the head down so the chin is level, pull the belly in. Keep inhaling. See if you can get those forearms a little bit closer to the face. And then exhale, head drops back. Just head and neck move. Bringing the hands together, the wrists, the forearms, and eventually elbows touch. We inhale, head down, breathing in through the nose. Each time, think about taking in a little bit more air. Full lungs. Exhale through the mouth. A strong exhale through the mouth, getting rid of all that stale air. Hands, wrists, forearms, elbows touch in front. Inhale, head down, look forward more, pull the belly in more. It's a compression of the abdominal wall. Exhale, head drops back, strong exhale through the mouth. Relax the shoulders down and away from the ears as you bring your elbows together to touch. Inhale, head down. You're contracting the thigh muscles, pulling the belly in tight. See if you can take another sip of air at the top. Now exhale through the mouth, strong exhale through the mouth. Keep exhaling, bring your elbows together to touch. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Inhale, we've got 2 more. The last 2, the deepest, the fullest, and the strongest breaths you've taken so far. Exhale, head drops back. Strong exhale through the mouth. Keep exhaling, bring your elbows to touch. Inhale. Exhale. And that's enough. Bring the arms down by the sides, just maybe lick the lips a couple of times. From now on, we breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. No water, just for these first few postures. So let's start by warming up the spine. If your feet have crept apart, bring them back together. Toes and heels are touching. Contract the thigh muscles. Pull the lower belly in. Bring the arms over the head sideways. Hands, palms together. Interlock the fingers. Release the index fingers. Cross the thumbs. Squeezing the heels of the hands together like glue. Hips come forward. Upper body goes back. Chest up, chin up. Throat is visible if you're looking in a mirror. We're going to stretch up once more and then bend right and left several times. Right and left, just loosening up the spine before we go into the posture fully. Stretching up and over, avoiding any twisting in the torso. And come and stop in the middle. So keep that connection with the biceps, arms and ears. Bring your hips more forward, upper body back more. Stretch up, touch the ceiling. And now with a straight line, take your arms over towards the right. With no bending in the elbows, no bending in the knees. You're pushing the hips over towards the left, working beyond your flexibility. But it's really important to make sure that we've got the correct form rather than depth. So Just avoid coming down too much if it means that you come out of alignment. Keep the hips forward, keep the upper body back, and just try and visualize yourself sandwiched between two panes of glass. So you might need to bring the bottom shoulder forward to get your two shoulders level. Then maybe bringing that left hip a little touch forward to get your two hips level. Notice that stretch all the way down the left side of the body. Use your bottom arm to stretch your top arm up and over. Come down and push and change. Come up and stop in the middle. Take a deep breath, stretch up, touch the ceiling, and now with a straight line, take the arms over towards the left. Again, no bending in the elbows, no bending in the knees, pushing your hips over towards the right hand side. Feeling that incredible stretch all the way down the right side of the body, from the bones to the skin and the fingertips to the toes. The hips should come forward more to open the pelvis. Upper body goes back more. Make sure you're not tucking the chin in. Throat visible, looking straight ahead. Bring your bottom left shoulder forward to get your two shoulders level. Squeeze the heels of the hands together. Bring that right hip a little bit forward, a little bit if you need to. Use your bottom arm to stretch your top arm up and over. Come down and push and change. Come up, stop in the middle. We're going into our first backward bend. It's the healer of the spine. So be fearless. Take a deep breath and drop your head back. Drop your head back, relaxing the head and the neck completely. Now we're going to stretch the arms up and now take the arms back. So we're pointing at what we're looking at. Bending the spine backwards from coccyx to the neck. The lower back, the middle back, the upper back, the total spine is backward bending. Contract the thigh muscles, engage the glutes. Now, take a deep breath, take the arms back more, push stomach, legs and hips, everything push forward. As you take the arms back, you look back, go back, more back, and change. Inhale, breathing, come up. Pull the belly in, bend your knees a lot and pivot at the hips. Come forward, placing your hands on the floor in front of the feet, and we're just going to warm the spine up a little bit more. We go from a back bend to a forward bend. So we're going to wiggle the hips. First of all, right, left, right, left, right, left. Maybe doing a couple of knee bends here. And then we're going to bend the knees a lot, sandwich our belly against the thighs, and see if you can scoop your heels up from behind. So we're trying to step on all 5 fingers of each hand. The little baby fingers are touching side by side, and if you can, you're going to see if you can get the thumb with the rest of the fingers. Now, it's normal to have tight hamstrings, and particularly early in the day that we practice, we'll notice it more. So you may not be able to step on your hands. You might be holding onto the back of the calf muscles. You might be by the ankles. The main thing is the belly is sandwiched down, and you're going to tuck your chin in. And then from here, if you've got that good grip, you're going to start to pull, stretching your body down from the lower spine to the floor, stomach on thighs, chest on knees, face on the legs below the knees. You may not be able to get there. Just notice how your body is feeling today. So I went for a run in the rain yesterday, and I'm feeling rather stiff today. So it's important just to acknowledge how your body is feeling and go with it. Keep sandwiching the belly down. One day nose between the shins. Come a little bit forward onto the toes. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling. One day you're trying to lock out your legs, but not at the expense of the chest. Coming away from the thighs. Keep pulling on the heels. Tuck the chin in more. Lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Try and lock out the legs. Eyes open, touch the face on the legs below the knees, lock the legs, and change. Come up, head and arms together. Stretch up at the top. Bring your arms down by your sides. And come back to the breath, in and out through the nose. We're going to warm up the legs now. with awkward pose. You step your right foot out to the right. You want to have 6 inches between the toes and the heels. You can check you've got the right distance by taking 2 fists and placing them between the feet. So the little baby fingers are going to skim the inside edges at the front and at the back. Now bring your arms up parallel to the floor. Your tricep muscles are contracted. There's nothing loose, nothing hanging. If you're looking in a mirror, you want to be able to see the top of your shoulders over the top of the fingers in the mirror. Now pull your belly in and sit down, feet flat position until your hips touch the chair. The spine is straight to begin with. I'm just going to turn to the side. You've got 100% body weight in your heels. Suck the stomach in and take your shoulders back. Bend your total spine, backward bending. You want to bring your upper body back a little bit more. Keep the body weight in the heels. And now imagining you're trying to fall down backwards. Sit down more. Take the shoulders back and lean back. Go back, more back, and change. Come up, keep the arms there. Now we're going to come up high on top of the toes, stretching the whole upper body up towards the ceiling. Try and get a point of focus on something in front of you that is not moving. It's going to help with the balance. Don't blink the eyes. That also helps with the balance. So keep a point of focus and now slide down an imaginary wall. So we're sliding down the wall. We're trying to keep the shoulders back, sitting onto a chair. Now it's important that the hips don't go below the chair. Sitting onto the chair, pushing the front of the feet forward. So eventually balancing just on the big toes. Get the knees up, sit down more and take the shoulders back and change. Come up, feet down. Now the third part, we're going to bring the knees together. Lift your heels slightly off the floor. So it's important that we've got the heels lifted. We're going to squeeze the knees together and forward. This is where we get the control from. And then sliding down the wall. We slide down the wall, keeping the knees together and forward, going all the way down, until eventually you've got a ½ inch gap between your hips and your heels, with the thighs parallel to the floor and the arms parallel to the thighs. The spine perfectly straight, so from the side, the body wants to look like you are holding a box. Keep squeezing the knees together, and then come up slowly, pushing the feet away, come all the way up, stepping the right leg back to the left. Bring the arms down by the sides, come back to stillness, come back to the breath, in and out through the nose. So we've warmed up the legs, and you might notice the heart rate's getting a little bit elevated now. We're going to open up the major joints in the body with eagle. So sweep the arms up over the head. You're going to identify your right arm from your left arm. Swinging the right arm underneath the left, we're going to cross them at the elbows and twist them like ropes. If you can, get the hands palms together or interlace the fingers. If you've got tight shoulders, you can grab onto the shoulders. The main thing is the crossing at the elbows. Now draw your elbows down, pull your belly in and sit down low and arch your upper body back here. Now we stay low and we lift our right leg up and over. Lift that right leg up and over, squeeze your thighs together. Sliding the right foot down the back of the left calf muscle. Now you may not be able to get the foot behind, so you just need to sit down a little bit more, squeeze the thighs together, point the foot in the direction where you want it to go. We make adjustments here as we try and line everything up. So we bring the knees to the right and the upper body to the left. Sit down more and take the shoulders back. Change. Come up, feet together, arms over the head. Swinging your left arm underneath the right arm, cross them at the elbows. Remember, the main thing is the crossing at the elbows. Sit down low, arch your upper body back. Stay low, try not to let the hips come up, and lift the left leg up and over, squeezing the thighs together. Slide your left foot behind the back of the right calf muscle. You might notice you feel differently from one side to the other. That's normal. Sit down a little bit more. Bring the shoulders back to help with the balance. Again, those adjustments. So we bring the knees to the left this time. As we bring the upper body to the right, take the shoulders back and change. Come up, feet together, arms over the head, arms down by the sides. So that is the end of our warm-up series. You can take little sips of water. It's important not to drink too much water because it will sit heavy on the stomach as we go into the floor series. But the earlier we practice in the day, you might find you're a little bit more dehydrated. So just taking sips of water as and when you need to. And we're going to move now into our standing balancing series, everybody. Starting with standing head to knee. And this posture is the foundation for the rest of the standing balancing postures. I'm going to turn to the side again. So we shift the weight over to the left leg. We're going to shift the weight over and we're just going to contract the thigh muscle. And when we do this, we can see and we can feel the kneecap lifting up. So we contract the thigh muscle. We call this locking the leg or locking the knee. Now we're going to lift our right leg up. We want this right thigh parallel to the floor. The front heel is directly underneath the front knee and we're flexing the toes towards the face. Now if you're fairly new to practice, if you're a beginner, then you're probably going to stay at this stage for some time. This is not an easy place to be. You are working on the standing leg. You're working on your balance. However, if you have got this stage, you can move on to stage 2, rounding down to pick up your right foot, holding onto this foot with all 10 fingers included in the grip. So it's important that the thumb is included with the rest of the fingers. The standing leg should still be locked. Now, if the standing leg is locked, then you can move on. Otherwise, if it's not, contract the thigh muscle. If it's still wobbling and shaking, go back to stage 1. But if your standing leg is locked, then you can start to kick out, driving from the hip, flexing the toes back towards the face. You want to look like a perfect upside down L. If you do, you can start to draw your elbows down until elbows touch and eventually they go below the calf muscles. And if you've got the space here, eventually you can tuck your chin in and round down and touch the forehead to the knee and change. It came out early. Normal to fall out of these postures. Doesn't matter how long you've been practicing them for. Come back to stillness. And now shift your weight over to your right leg. Contract the thigh muscle. We want to lock the leg, lock the knee. Lift your left leg up. So we should be looking for a 90-degree angle in the hip joint, the knee joint, and the ankle joint. You're flexing the toes up to the ceiling. You're pulling the lower belly in, and if you are ready to move on, round down. Now keep a point of focus on something. So if you've not got a mirror in front of you, you might be looking at the edge of a wardrobe or a chair or a sofa or your water bottle, but you want your focus on something in front of you that is not moving. It will help with your balance. Contract the thigh muscle of the standing leg. If you're holding onto the foot and there's no wobbling and shaking in the standing leg, then only kick forward. Do not kick out on a bent leg. Flex the toes back towards the face. So the heel should be the furthest thing away from you. If both legs are locked, draw your elbows down. Eventually, elbows touch the calf muscles. Wherever you are, your standing leg remains locked. If you've got the space, if you've got the balance, you can tuck the chin in, rounding down, touch the forehead to the knee, lock the leg, and change. Come out, bring your feet back together, arms down by the sides. Well done, everybody. So our next posture, standing bow pulling pose. It's really normal to fall out of this posture. The main thing is to get back into it, but remembering the form. I'm just going to show you the grip from this direction. So we're going to bring the right hand out. We want the elbow in close to the body. The fleshy part of the hand is facing up, and the thumb is pointing to the back. You bring your hand to the side, and without turning it, so the thumb is still to the back, you're going to pick up your right foot, and we hold this foot from the inside at the ankle. You want the middle finger at the bony part of the ankle joint. Now, if you really, really struggle to hold it like this, then you can hold it from the outside. But the grip we're after, if we can, is here from the inside. The knees are together and your standing leg is locked. I'm going to turn to the side. We're going to bring our left arm up. Now we want the chin close to the shoulder, and we're going to be stretching up out to the waist towards the ceiling. I've lost my balance there, everyone. So contract the standing leg first of all. Your knees are together. You're going to stretch up out to the waist to the ceiling, and then without stopping the stretch, you're going to start to kick back. So don't bring the body down just yet. You're going to kick the leg back. You're going to keep kicking. You will get to a point where you feel you can't kick anymore, and that's the cue to start to bring the chest down and the body down. Now your arms should remain connected like your chin to your shoulder. So we're not bringing the arm down independently. We're stretching forward through the fingertips. We're kicking back. And we're looking, if we're looking in a mirror, for the foot to emerge over the top of the head in the mirror. Work on the standing leg. Keep the gaze forward, stretching forward more and kicking back more. We might need to drop the right hip down to square the hips off to the floor. Go for it. Stretch forward more. Kick back, and kick, and change. Bring your feet back together. So you should be noticing right now that the heart is starting to elevate. We're in the cardio part of our class. We're going to go into the second side. So remembering the grip, bringing the left hand out, elbow in close, fleshy part of the hand facing up. Bring your hand to the side, don't turn it, and pick up the left foot and hold this foot from the inside on middle finger at the bony part of the ankle joint. Standing leg is locked, two knees are together. Right arm up, chin to shoulder, flat part of the hand away. We're going to take a really big stretch and then start to kick. Now the stretching and the kicking is simultaneous. So as soon as you start to kick more and stop stretching, that's when you're going to come out the posture. So you need to do these two things equally. We're going to keep kicking. We'll get to the point where we can't kick anymore. That's the cue to bring the chest down and the body down. The gaze is forward. If you're looking in the mirror, you're looking for your eyebrows emerging over the top of your fingers. You might want to drop your left hip down. If you've got a wobble in the standing leg, contract the thigh muscle. Go for it, everyone. Kick back. Notice your two arm shoulders being pulled apart in opposite directions. Bring the chest down, bring the body down, stretch forward and kick and change. Come back, toes and heels together, arms down by the sides. Just coming to stillness in between the postures to allow us to absorb our hard work. We're going to take a step to the bottom of the mat and the towel now. So the next posture is balancing stick. This is a short posture. Unlike the last one, we don't have lots of opportunities to get back into it. And if we're late with it, the posture is basically over. We're going to bring the arms over the head sideways, hands palms together, interlock the fingers, release the index fingers, cross the thumbs, squeezing the heels of the hands together, chest is up, chin up. We take a big step forward on the right leg. So we're going to shift forward onto the right leg, we lock it out and we take the back foot off the floor. So both legs are locked here. And then we pivot and we come down, keeping the arms with the ears. We come down until eventually we look like a capital T. Bringing the chest down, bringing the body down. Now we're just going to drop our left hip down as we square the hips off to the floor. Get the chest down more, get the chest down, get the back leg up. Now stretch forward and stretch back. And change. Come back to the bottom of the mat and the towel. Stretch up out of the waist. Take a big step forward on the left leg. Shift the weight forward. Take your back toes off the floor. From here, we simply pivot. We keep the biceps with the ears. We're looking at the floor 4 or 5 feet in front of us. The standing leg is locked out. Chest down, chest down. Get the arms up. Don't lose that connection. Squeeze the heels of the hands together. Maybe you're going to drop your right hip down. No bending in the standing leg. Now stretch forward and stretch back. And change. Come to the bottom of the mat and towel. Arms down. And breathe. Now our next posture is designed to calm the heart rate down. So you might want to take a quarter turn. It depends what your layout is at home, but you need to be able to take a step to the right. Feet together. Bring your arms over the head sideways. So taking a big step to the right, ideally 5 feet minimum. Arms come parallel to the floor. Now, the bigger the step, particularly as a beginner, the easier you will find it. So do adjust your feet as you need to. Our toes are either slightly pigeon-toed, so turned in, or if you have got issues with sciatica, then we want the toes to be pointing straight ahead, never out to the corners. Pull your lower belly in, and then pivot at the hips. So looking forward, sliding the hands down the backs of the legs. When you can't look forward anymore, you're going to take your gaze to a spot on the floor between the feet. Don't look between the legs. So look at the floor between the feet, because one day that is where you are trying to get your forehead. Now we're going to slide the hands down the backs of the legs, and eventually one day you're going to hold on to your heels. And if you can't hold on to your heels, then you're going to hold on to the ankles, or you may be holding on to the back of the calf muscles if you've got very tight hamstrings. Wherever you are, you need to get a good grip. Make sure the thumb is included. Roll the body weight forward onto the toes. Lift your hips up to the ceiling. Roll forward and pull, drawing your forearms in close towards the calf muscles. We're going to bring the body weight forward onto the toes as we lift the tailbone up to the ceiling. So what we should be feeling right now is an incredible stretching sensation all the way down the backs of the legs. We roll forward more. Look at that spot between the feet. We're trying to get the forehead a little bit closer. Contract the thigh muscles. If you've got a bend in the legs, roll forward, pull a little bit more. Try and get the forehead on the floor. Notice that incredible stretching sensation, first in the legs, then the hips, then lower spine, then upper spine. Eventually, your whole body stretching. 360-degree angle with the forehead on the floor between the feet. And change. Come up. With control, putting a bend into the right leg, step back to the left, arms over the head, and bring the arms down by the sides. So we're going to go into triangle now. Triangle is the master posture in our standing practice. We're going to do this posture twice. The first one, we're going to really focus on the setup, and maybe in the second set, you can go a little bit further today. So feet are together again, bring the arms over the head sideways, hands palms together, taking that really big step again to the right, and bring your arms down parallel to the floor. First of all, look down, check your heels are in one line. And ideally, we want the feet underneath the wrists, so take a bigger step if you need to. Bring your hips forward to open up your pelvis, upper body back, open up the chest, turn the right foot out, so your right foot is parallel to the side of your mat, and then bend your right knee and sit down. As you do this, what's really important is the knee doesn't overshoot the ankle, so we might want to come up slightly and take a slightly bigger step. Knee tracking in direction of the big and the middle toe. Get your spine straight in the center, flip your hands, and now windmill the arms, bringing your right arm down. The right arm down, we're pointing towards the big toe and the middle toe, but no weight or pressure with the fingers on the floor. Now you want the knobbly bit of your elbow against the knee. We're not leaning on the leg, we've got a bend still in the right leg, and we're going to look up to the ceiling, get the chin a little bit close to the shoulder, the top arm comes back. As we turn and twist the upper body back, you're contracting your left thigh muscle, and you're going to keep the outside edge of the left foot flat on the floor. Now pull the two arms apart in opposite directions, stretch up, touch the ceiling, and stretch down, and change. Come up, keep your feet wide, turn the right foot in, turn the left foot out, check that the left foot is parallel to the side of your mat, bend your left knee and sit down. So again, you might want to bounce a couple of times into it, making sure that the knee isn't overshooting the ankle joint. One day you're looking for a 90-degree angle in the knee joint. Spine straight in the center, turn the hands, move both arms at the same time, bringing your left arm down, looking up towards the ceiling. Now what after here is a triangle shape between your forearm and your shin. We've also got a triangle shape here between the thigh and the left side of the body. Look up to the ceiling, bring the top arm back, get some energy going through the fingertips. If you've got a mirror alongside you, then the profile of your face should be exactly visible in that side mirror. Now pull the two arms apart, contracting the thigh muscle of the right leg, look up to the ceiling, stretch up and stretch down. Change, come up, put a bend in the right leg, step back to the left, arms over the head, and bring the arms down by the sides. So this is a cardio posture. It's creating a marriage between the heart and the lungs. It's working pretty much every major system, muscle, organ, and gland in the body. So the heart rate is elevated. We're going to do a second shorter set. Feet together, arms over the head sideways, hands, palms together, step to the right, arms parallel to the floor. Hips forward, upper body back. Turn your right foot out, and now bend into the right knee. Maybe you can go a little bit lower than you did in the first set. Stay low, get the spine straight in the center, flip the hands, move both arms at the same time, bringing the right arm down, elbow to knee. Point towards the big toe, the middle toe. Don't put any pressure with the fingers on the floor. Look up to the ceiling, turning and twisting the upper body back, pulling the two arms apart in opposite directions like a tug of war, contracting your left thigh muscle. The outside edge of the left foot is flat on the floor. Look up to the ceiling, stretch up and stretch down. Change, come up. Turn the right foot in, turn the left foot out, bend into your left knee and sit down. Sitting down low, maybe a bit lower than that first set. Spine straight in the center, turn the hands, move both arms at the same time. Resist the urge to come up, keep the hips low. Point towards the big toe, the middle toe. Look up to the ceiling, bring the upper body back. Get the chin close to the shoulder. You are contracting your right thigh muscle, ensuring that the outside edge of the right foot is flat on the floor. You're using your left elbow to push that knee back. Now look up, stretch up and stretch down. And change, come up. Stepping back to the left, arms over the head, arms down by the sides. We've got two postures, and then you're going to get your well-deserved Savasana, your relaxation on the floor before we get started with the floor series. The feet need to come back together, arms over the head sideways. We're just going to cross the thumbs so the hands are in prayer position. Keep the biceps with the ears. Take a step to the right. It's not as big. It's about 4 feet, about the width of your mat. Turning to the front. We're going to look down at the feet and check. We want the two heels in one line. The back toes are pointing at a 45-degree angle towards the corner. Bringing your left hip round 1, 2, 3 times. So you're going to anchor your hips so they are facing the front. Tuck your chin into your chest. And then round and arch the spine. Rounding and arching the spine as you go down, stretching the arms forward beyond the toes. Now we push the top of the fingers into the floor and bend the front knee. So we bend the front knee as much as we need to. And we do this because we want to get the forehead on the knee. So we are compressing the throat, we're compressing the thyroid. The thyroid gland is the gland that helps to balance out the metabolism. And it is more important to get your forehead on your knee than it is to have a straight leg, because first and foremost, this isn't a stretching posture. It's a compression posture, and over time, we use the forehead to push the knee back. We might just want to bump the right hip up as we square the two hips off, push the top of the fingers into the floor. Now, if you had to take your hands apart to get the forehead on the knee, that's absolutely fine. Over time, you will use your hands to bring them back together, using the forehead to push the knee back and change. So we come up carefully with control, look towards the front, pivot on the heels to the side, pivot on the heels to the back again, checking your alignment. So our two heels in one line, the back toes pointing towards the corner, bringing our right hip round 1, 2, 3 times. You're going to square your hips off to the back wall. Tuck your chin. Notice already the throat choke sensation. and rounding and arching the spine. Imagine you've got a bar here and you're rounding over the bar, coming all the way down and pressing the top of the fingers into the floor. We're going to bend our front knee as much as you need to get the forehead on the knee. Maybe noticing how you feel a little bit different on this side, using that forehead to push the knee back, making sure the back heel isn't lifting. If it is, you want a slightly smaller step. Use the forehead gently, pushing the knee back. And change. It's very hard to talk and do at the same time, that posture, as you are constricting throat. Bring the arms down by the sides. Come back to the breath. And we're going to finish our standing series with our final balancing posture. It is tree pose. So shifting your weight over to your left leg. Contract the thigh muscle and lift your right leg up. Now you can use the right hand to help you. Lifting your right leg up, holding onto your right foot from underneath with the left hand. So we're trying to get that foot nice and high, sole of the foot facing the ceiling. If you struggle with this, then you can bring the foot to the side. Make sure that the knee is going out, and you're just going to, over time, work on bringing this foot up a little bit higher. So just working with what you've got today. Bringing your right hand up to the front of the chest. So make sure you're not exposing the throat. We've got the thumb to the chest to the sternum. And what we're looking for here is to have 2 level shoulders and 2 level hips. So you might just want to drop a shoulder down if you need to get your 2 shoulders level. Contract a thigh muscle. Notice if you need to, if there's any wobbling in the standing leg, notice if you need to contract that thigh muscle. Now imagine that you're being pulled up by the crown of your head towards the ceiling. See if you can grow 1 inch taller here. And change. Lower the leg down. Shift your weight over to your right leg now. Contract the thigh muscle, lock the leg, and lift your left leg up. Remembering that you can have the foot to the side and just work on getting the foot up over time. It's important to be aware of your joints. So just be aware of any pain or discomfort. You're just going to take this foot as high as comfortable for you. And again, you might notice it's different from one side to the other. Bringing the left hand up to the front of the chest, thumb to the sternum. Your 2 shoulders are level, your 2 hips are level. Doing what you need to make those adjustments, dropping a shoulder down, contracting the thigh muscle of the standing leg, stretching up out of the waist towards the ceiling. See if you can just grow 1 inch taller here. And change. Bringing the left foot down, feet together, just acknowledging your standing series, and now lie down onto your backs into your Savasana. I'm just going to adjust my microphone because it's in the wrong place. So you want your feet away from the camera and just adjusting your computer screens as you need to as you go down to the floor. Coming down into our Savasana. Probably like me, you need to adjust your hair. I always find it's in the wrong place, never mind the microphone. So as you lie in your Savasana, you want your heels to be together. Just allow your feet to flop open. You've got your arms in close by the sides, and your palms are facing up. Your eyes should be softly open. And all we're doing here is focusing on the breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Noticing the belly rising and the belly falling. Resisting the urge to scratch and to fidget and to wipe away sweat. And we will come back to this Savasana throughout our practice. And we're going to start the floor series with wind removing pose. Lift your right leg up and hold on to the right leg on the shin below the knee. All 10 fingers in a webbing into webbing grip. Draw your right knee out and in towards the right shoulder, just avoiding the rib cage to begin with, pressing both shoulders down to the floor. We're trying to create pressure on the lower abdomen, so this isn't passive. Your bicep muscles should be bulging as you draw the right knee towards your right shoulder. You're going to pull a bit harder with the left side as you try and get the left elbow equal distance off the floor as you are with your right elbow. Pull a little bit harder and change. Couldn't get my words out then. Let's lift the left leg up and hold on to this left leg on the shin below the knee, taking this leg out and in towards the left shoulder, avoiding the rib cage to begin with. Your right leg should be straight. If it's not, flex the toes back to the face to get the calf muscle on the floor. Now pull harder, feel that pressure in the abdomen. Dropping your right shoulder and your right elbow down now. Notice the bicep muscles bulging. We're looking down the center line of the body, but we're not lifting the head off the floor. And change. And now lift both legs up, and we're going to see if we can grab our elbows over the knees. Now, if you can't grab your elbows, grab the next best thing. So it might be the wrists, it might be the forearms, but as compact as you can be, it'll be different for everyone. And keeping the head on the floor, we tuck the chin in. So we're trying to eliminate the gap underneath the neck. We're pressing the tailbone down into the floor, and eventually in this posture, we're trying to get the total spine on the floor. That's what we are aiming to do. By pressing the tailbone down, by tucking the chin in, by pulling, we're flattening the back. Pull a little bit harder. And change. Lower the legs down. Now we're about to do the first sit-up of the class. If you've got any lower back issues, then just roll over onto your side, push yourself up with both hands and join in with the 2 loud exhales of breath. If you're doing the sit-up, bring your feet together, arms over the head, just cross the thumbs, flat part the hands facing the ceiling, pull the belly in and sit up. Grab the big toes, double bounce, double exhale. Turn around and lie down on your stomach. So you're going to be facing the front. You're going to come to lie on your stomach. We start the spine strengthening series. We're going to bring the hands under the shoulders, tops of the fingers in line with the tops of your shoulders, little baby fingers in line with the outsides of the arms. So if I was looking at you from above, your hands would be invisible under the shoulders. Our elbows are sticking up in the air like little cricket wings. Bring the legs and the feet together. Now contract the thigh muscles, engage the glutes. Look up with no pressure with the hands. We're going to lift up using 100% of our back strength here. Get the chest up, look up and lift up. Contract the thigh muscles. If you look up to the ceiling, then your body will go where your eyes are following. So look up, drop the shoulders down and away from the ears, lift up, and then carefully lower down. Turn your head to the right, bring your left ear onto the towel, arms down by the side. So we're getting a passive stretch down the back of the neck, in between the postures, toes together, feet fall open, arms by the sides. I can't get my head down because of the microphone, which is a bit awkward. So relaxing. Our second posture in the spine strengthening series is our locust. So we're going to turn the hands over, arms in a straight position, and we're going to lift the hips up, and we're going to bring the hands underneath the body. Now, if you develop a bend in the elbows here, then you have the hands slightly to the side of you. So it's really important you haven't got this bend in the elbows. So you'll have the hands to the side of you with the palms facing down. Eventually, one day, we're trying to get the little baby fingers touching side by side. The chin is on the floor and we're looking forward. Our left leg is relaxed. The right leg is solid. And we're going to lift the right leg off the floor. We lift the right leg off the floor. The movement coming from the hip. So we're looking for 45 degrees, which is half of 90. Contract the thigh muscle, lengthen the leg and lift and then lower it down. Relax your right leg, contract your left leg, and now lift the left leg high, lengthening the leg as you lift it, contract the thigh muscle. Imagine you're trying to touch the back wall of the room that you are in. Lengthen the leg and lift, and carefully lower down. Now you may be able to adjust your hands a little bit closer underneath the body. I'm going to move my mic slightly. We bring the head down. This is important. So we bring the head down so the mouth is on the towel. Resist the urge to look around as you go into the posture. Now bring your legs and your feet together. Contract the glutes. Take a deep breath here. And now lift both legs up. Without bending the knees, lift both legs up. Keep the mouth on the towel. Push the hands into the floor. Make sure the legs haven't come apart. Contract the thigh muscles, lift the legs, and lower down. Carefully, gently, releasing the hands out from underneath you. Turn your head to the left, right here on the towel. You might notice a bit of a tingling sensation in the fingers. This is because, as well as being a spine extension, this is also a tourniquet posture, cutting off the circulation from the arms, and now we've got a fresh supply of oxygenated blood traveling to all the joints. Our next posture, full locust. Bring the arms out to the side of you like aeroplane wings. If you've got the space at home, do take advantage. Bring all 5 fingers together. Bring your legs and your feet together. Contract the glutes, contract the thigh muscles. Notice the kneecaps lift up. Now look up to the ceiling and lift up here. Lift up and look up. Chest up, arms up, arms back. We're trying to get the fingertips the same level as the top of the head. One day. Look up, contract the glutes so the legs have come apart. Bring them back together and lift. And then carefully lower down. Turn your head to the right, left ear on the towel. Bring your arms down by the sides. We come back to our stillness because this is where we absorb our hard work. We're working the spine from top to bottom during this series of 4 postures. And this final posture in the spine strengthening series is called floor bow, and we bring it all together. Bending the knees, we're going to grab hold of the feet from the outside. We're going to have all 5 fingers together. Now we're going to do this posture twice because some of you may not be able to grab hold of both feet. So if that is the case, you're going to grab hold of one foot and bring the opposite arm forward. If you have got hold of both feet, then just make sure that the knees are together and you've got 6 inches between the feet. There's no bending in the elbows throughout. Take a deep breath, and we're going to kick the legs behind us. If you're holding on to one foot, you're just going to kick one foot behind you. If you're holding on to both, we're going to kick both legs back. We're going to look up to the ceiling. We're going to look up and kick back. Now you roll forward onto the fleshy part of the belly, but we don't look down. We're trying to get 1 day 2 feet in one line from the side. The legs are coming out wide. Bring them back in together. Look up and kick, and then lower down. Carefully, gently, turning the head to the left. Arms coming close by the sides. We're going to do a second set of this one in case you did one leg. So if you did do one leg, just making sure that you do the opposite one this time. So if you're doing both legs, bend the knees, hold on to the feet from the outside. And we're going to start, everyone, by looking up to the ceiling and now kick the legs behind you. So kick the legs. Make sure that you don't start to bend the elbows. The wrists are straight. There is no bending in the elbows. You're going to roll forward onto the fleshy part of the belly. Look up to the ceiling. Look up, roll forward. Kick back harder. And change. Lower down. Carefully, gently. Turning your head to the right, left ear on the towel, coming back to stillness. And this marks the end of the spine strengthening series. So moving into the final stage of our practice, bring your hands under the shoulders and push up. We're coming into our second tourniquet posture. We call this a 10-year posture because it can take a long time to get into this posture. You're going to bring the hands beside you for support. We're going to separate the feet And what we're trying to do here is get the bottom flat on the floor between the feet. Now, it can take a long time. Some people get here in their first class. So it's just being aware of your body. You can mess with the gods, but you can't mess with the knees. That's how the saying goes. Now, you can separate your knees, but no wider than hip distance, which is the bony projections on your feet. Now, if your bottom isn't comfortably on the floor, you want your toes pointing directly behind you. No gap between hips and heels. If you're not there, please do not move on. Just stay here. You're still getting all the benefits of the posture. However, if your bottom is flat on the floor, we're going to go back, right elbow and left elbow. Top of the head, back of the head, both shoulders relaxed on the floor. Bring the arms over the head, grabbing the elbows, tuck the chin. We're going to lift the chest and the stomach and the abdomen up to the ceiling as we create a human bridge. If your knees have come apart, squeeze them back together, lift the chest, and then come out carefully, one elbow at a time, and turn around and lie down into your Savasana, feet facing away. And again, this is where we absorb our hard work. So coming back to our stillness, heels together, feet fall open, arms in close. And it's normal to feel a little bit low energy right now. So our next posture is designed to give us an energy boost. Toes and heels together, flex the feet, arms over the head, cross the thumbs. Take a deep breath and sit up, grab the big toes, double bounce, double exhale. Turn around. Again, sitting in a kneel down position, but at the bottom of the mat and towel this time. Bring your arms over the head sideways. The hands are in prayer position. We want to be sitting on our heels if we can. We're pulling the lower belly in to engage the core, and we're going to draw the ribs in to flatten out the back. And we come down, keeping the arms with the ears. We come down, keeping the bottom on the heels for as long as we can. All the way down, all the way down. We're going to bring, if we can, the forehead down onto the mat, top of the nose on the floor, keeping the hands in prayer position, squeezing the heels of the hands together. If you notice that your arms have come down, so they're resting on the mat and the towel, then you're not getting all the benefit of the posture. So you need to stretch the arms further forward, squeeze the heels of the hands together. You should just notice the little baby fingers are the only part of your arms on the floor. You're pushing your bottom down onto your heels, and we should feel this real incredible stretching sensation in the back of the shoulders, stretching forward and stretching back. And change. We come up with control, head and arms together, stretching up at the top, arms down by the sides, turn around and lie down into Savasana. So this posture, we've just sent a fresh supply of oxygenated blood down the spine and the central nervous system to the brain. It gives us a wonderful boost of energy. It's a great posture to do if you are feeling a little bit low in energy. It's a really lovely restorative posture. And it's setting us up for camel, which is the master posture in our floor series. It's the deepest back bend that we do in the series, and we've worked the whole class to be this warmed up. Toes and heels together, bring the arms over the head, cross the thumbs, take a deep breath and sit up. Grab the big toes, double bounce, double exhale. And coming to the top of your mat, I'm going to show you from this direction. First of all, you want to have 6 inches between the knees, 6 inches between the feet. Hands on the back, fingers towards the floor, thumbs on the outside, trying to get those little baby fingers side by side. I'm turning in every direction here. We're going to bring the hips forward to open up the pelvis, draw the elbows in to open up the chest, and now drop the head back, and we're going to go back halfway. Now, this may be enough for you today, certainly if you're new to practice. However, if you're ready to move on, bringing the right hand down and the left hand down. So we've got the thumbs on the outside and the fingers on the inside. Try not to collapse back into it. Take a deep breath, Push stomach, legs and hips, everything push forward towards the front, squeezing the glutes, lifting the chest, and come out carefully. It's hard to talk and do that again. It's one of those challenging postures. Turn around and lie down into your Savasana. So it's really, really normal with camel to get a few strange sensations. Practicing in the hot room, certainly. It's a point in class where we might feel a little bit dizzy or lightheaded. Such a deep back bend, so good for helping to counteract all that forward flexing that we do as we go about our daily lives. The next posture is the counter stretch the spine. It's rabbit, toes and heels together, arms over the head, cross the thumbs, take a deep breath and sit up. Coming to the middle of the mat. Now, I don't have a towel today, but if we're practicing in the heat and we're very sweaty at this stage, if you've got a towel, you can bring the towel over your heels here. And it just means you've got better purchase on your heels. So imagine you're sliding your hands down the back pockets of your jeans, thumbs outside, fingers inside. We're going to hold on to our heels. And it may be you don't have a very good grip here if you haven't got long gorilla arms like me, but the grip gets easier as we go into it. We tuck the chin in and we round down, rounding all the way down. So we want to bring the forehead to the knees and the top of the head is on the floor. Now from here you might have a better grip, and we're going to pull on the heels as we lift the hips up to the ceiling. So we roll forward like a wheel. Try not to put too much pressure on the head here. Now keep pulling. You'll feel that pulling sensation in the lower back as we're stretching out the vertebra. If you can bring the heels together, keep lifting the hips up to the ceiling. If you have got a big gap between the forehead and the knees, you can walk the knees in 1 millimeter at a time to eliminate some of the gap. Keep pulling on the heels and lift the hips up. And then come out 1 vertebra at a time. The head comes up last of all. If you put a towel over the feet, release it, turn around and lie down into Savasana. And we've just got 2 postures left now, and our final breathing exercise and relaxation, and our class is completed. This next posture, a great stretch for the hamstrings. Toes and heels together, flex the feet, arms over the head, cross the thumbs. Take a deep breath and sit up, grab the big toes, double bounce, double exhale. Turn to face the front. Bring your right leg out and bring your left foot in. So you want the sole of the left foot touching the inner thigh of the right leg. Bring your arms over the head, turn to the right, round down. We're going to grab hold of this foot. And for most of us, this involves bending the knee. So bending the knee, holding onto this foot, all 10 fingers included. Then tuck the chin, and we're going to use the forehead to push the leg down. So one day straightening out the leg, but not at the expense of the forehead coming away. We're going to draw the elbows in and down alongside the calf muscles. Flex the foot back, roll inside to the left, and pull and change. Come up, bringing the left leg out, bringing the right leg in. Arms over the head, turn to the left and round down. Again, bending the knee as much as you need to get the forehead on the knee. Using the forehead to slide the foot away, drawing the elbows in and down alongside the calf muscle. Maybe rolling inside to the right to get 2 shoulders level and pull and change. Now bring both legs out in front of you, carefully, gently. We're going to lie down on the back, extend the arms over the head, take a deep breath. Bending the knees as much as you need to. Grab hold of your big toes, your middle and your index fingers from the inside with the thumbs on top. And then walk your hips back. Right, left, right, left, right, left. We're trying to get to the point where we're sitting on the fleshy part of the bottom. It doesn't matter if you've got a slight bend in the knees. Keep the gaze forward and start to pull on the toes. Draw your elbows down. Draw your elbows down and alongside the calf muscles. Avoid looking down. If you look down, you're going to round the spine. We're trying to get the forehead to touch the toes. We're going to pull a bit harder. Feel the stretch all the way down the backs of the legs. Pull harder, draw the elbows down and pull and change. Turn around and lie down into Savasana. And our final posture is spine twist. And this is the deepest twist of the spine in the series. Toes and heels together, arms over the head, cross the thumbs. Take a deep breath and sit up. It doesn't matter at home which direction you face. You probably want to face the camera. So you're going to bend your left knee. So the left knee is facing forward and bring the right foot over the left knee corner. Now you want the right ankle at the same spot on the floor as the left knee. It's important that we're not actually sitting on the left heel. If you've got problems with your knees, you can bring your left leg out straight in front of you and do the posture like this. You'll bring your right hand behind you and bring your left arm up and bring it over your right knee. I'm just going to bend mine again. Now, if you're able to, you will grab hold of your left knee in front of you. If you can, without rounding the spine, you can bring your right hand behind you. Otherwise, keep the hand in the floor for support. Lengthen and look over your right shoulder. Looking over the right shoulder. My hair's doing something strange, isn't it? Looking over the right shoulder, twisting through the joints of each and every vertebra and cartilage of the spine. Turn and twist, and let's unravel the legs. Bend your right knee, so the right knee's facing forward. My hair does look weird. And bring the left foot over the right knee corner, bringing your left hand behind you for support. Bring the right arm up and over, using this elbow to push the knee back. Again, you can keep that right leg straight if you need to. Look over your left shoulder. Try not to lean back. Make sure there's no rounding and arching in the spine. Lengthen. Look over your left shoulder and twist and change. Turn around and lie down on your back. So we've completed all 26 postures. We've got our final Kalabati breathing, blowing in firm pose. This breathing exercise, getting rid of any final toxins from the body. It's our last sit-up. Let's make it a good, strong one. Toes and heels together, arms over the head, cross the thumbs. Take a deep breath and sit up. Joining me in a kneel down position. If this is uncomfortable, you can sit cross-legged. The main thing is you've got a nice straight spine and we have no bending in the elbows. The arms are extended out in front of you. We're focused on exhaling through the mouth. Exhaling through the mouth, the belly is relaxed. As we exhale, we snap the belly in. It forces the air out of the lungs and the inhales will take care of themselves. You might just want to swallow and lick the lips a couple of times. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done, everyone. Acknowledge your hard work. Turn around now and lie down into your final Savasana. Giving yourselves as long in your Savasana as you can. Finding stillness, you can close your eyes if you want to. Noticing as you lie here, all the muscles relax and soften into the floor. And as we finish our practice today, we know that we have worked every major system, muscle, organ, and gland in the body, systematically, each posture designed to lead to the next. We've worked our spine in every single direction. We've sent a fresh supply of oxygen to every single cell in the body. Just notice the breath in through the nose and out through the nose. So taking as much time as you want here in your Savasana. Thank you for joining me in class today. It's been a pleasure. And I look forward to seeing you in class again soon.